Welcome to the guide to making bread. All right, step one, we have about a cup of lukewarm water, we have some granulated sugar, and we have some yeast. I'm using this bread machine yeast because it is all that we have, but it should work just fine. All right, so to get started, we're going to be adding about a tablespoon's worth of granulated sugar to the water. All right, along with about 2.5 teaspoons of this yeast. So I'm just gonna put that in there. 1 scoop, 2, and a half. And then we're just gonna stir it till combined. I'm just gonna use my measuring spoon because then I don't have to dirty another dish unnecessarily. All right, and now we're just gonna leave that to sit for a little bit. While our yeast mixture is sitting to the side, I'm gonna take a nice medium-sized bowl. This is a bit larger, but I just don't trust myself with the sizes. And I'm going to be adding a teaspoon of salt, which you can't see because this is a white bowl, and about 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. One cup, 2 cups, and finally, this measuring cup includes a 1/2 cup measure, so I filled it to about that line. We're just gonna add that, and that's our flour combo. All right, so now that we have our nice appetizing mixed bowl of salt and flour, we're gonna take our yeast mixture, which has been bubbling nicely, and we're just gonna dump that in. Smells like bread. And we're just gonna mix this together until it's combined. And I will not be doing that one-handed, so I will get back to you in just a moment. All right, so I've mixed this together now, sort of. It's a little tricky to do. And I went ahead and wiped and fired the counter, so I'm actually just going to dump this onto the counter, which I will be cleaning up later. Don't worry, Mom. And now it comes to the fun part, kneading the bread. So I'm just gonna gather it all up into a ball, like so. And I'm just gonna push with the heel of my hand out. I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna fold it back over. I'm gonna turn this whole mess to the side. I'm gonna push it, take it, fold it over. Take it, turn it, push it, fold it over. And I'm just gonna keep doing that, but with 2 hands, because it's tricky to do one-handed, until this is one nice cohesive dough ball. And I will get back to you then. All right, so I've just finished kneading the dough, and you can tell that it's done because it's smooth, or relatively smooth anyway. And it's very like elasticy texture. So yeah, it's one cohesive ball of dough. Next step, I'm gonna take your handy dandy Ziploc bag that you have just off screen, and you're gonna take a little bit of olive oil. I'm gonna use the other part of our broken tablespoon. And you're just gonna drizzle a little bit inside the bag. So just give me 1 moment to do that. All right, so now that our bag has a nice coating of olive oil inside, I'm just gonna take this dough ball, I'm gonna put it in here, and then, once I do that, just stick it on in. Make sure the dough ball is nice coated. This would be a lot easier with 2 hands, but unfortunately I don't have access to a tripod, so this is what we're getting. Nice coated in olive oil. Just gonna go like that. There we go. I'm gonna take this, go over here. We're just gonna stick that in the fridge, and I'm gonna come back to this tomorrow. All right, it's now the next morning, and this is what our dough is looking like. As per the instructions, I'm just going to now knead it for about a minute, and then I'm gonna form it into a log, and we're gonna put it into this loaf pan, which I have just pre-greased with a little bit of butter. And I will get back to you in just a moment. All right, it's now in the pan. I'm just gonna take this nice clean dishcloth, cover that up, and we're gonna leave this for about 2 hours. It is currently 7:40 a.m. I will see you at 9-ish, 9, 10, whatever. All right, it is now 9:50 a.m. and I have 1 loaf of nicely risen bread featuring wonky corner, but that's okay because it might just end up a little dense there, but that's okay. And it is now time to slash the dough with a very sharp knife, which I will be doing with a slightly sharp knife because our knives are not sharpened, but that's okay. So I'm just gonna go like whoop and like whoop. Do that again. Whoop. And we're gonna pretend that I know what I'm doing. And we're gonna throw this in the oven for about 35 to 40 minutes. Yippee! I'd like to take a moment while the bread is baking to take a moment to thank this video's sponsor, which is iced coffee that I put too much milk in. Thanks, iced coffee. All right, and for the grand reveal, ta-da! This is the loaf of bread. It's got a nice goldeny brown thing going on up here. It's bread shaped. It's bread. I did it. And that's how you make bread. All right, so we have our finished loaf of bread here, and it's cooled now. So I'm just gonna cut into it. I'm intentionally cutting a thick piece off at the end here because this is the part that is going to be very dense because I messed up the corner. But here's your cross section. Looks pretty good. A bit dense in the corner as expected, but all in all, not bad for a first attempt. And that concludes how to make bread.